magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizards, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, oh, oh. That's a wizard show.
Broadcasting live from Site B, located in the mythical town of Fresno, Nevada, which does not in fact exist, and looks suspiciously like my house. It's your boy, the OGGM, joined by a very happy Steve the Cat on a bright, sunny March 3rd. And for reasons, I don't know, is there a convention? I don't know why. For reasons I don't know, Wizards of the Coast dropped a huge bomb of information regarding their plans for 2026. So hold on to your hats and glasses and prepare yourself for the wildest ride in the Wizards of the Coast wilderness, because this is the season of horror. Oh yeah. But OGGM, you hate Wizards of the Coast. No, I don't hate Wizards of the Coast. I fucking love Wizards of the Coast. If it wasn't for Wizards of the Coast, what would I have to talk about? I'm not going to buy any of this product. In fact, I've been told I'm an AI. So, yeah, I'm an AI. I can't even, All right. So first, the big one, the to settle any doubts about what's going on with Dungeons and Dragons in 2026 going forward, Wizards of the Coast would like you now to officially know that D&D 2024 is now officially called 5.5E, but it's not a new edition. I know people have been calling it 5.5 since day one. I know Crawford and Perkins and the other guy all called it 5.5 or D&D New or D&D Next or D&D 1. I don't know. Why do you just drop the edition thing altogether? Just I don't know. Just spitballing here. Just how about it's just Creative 5.E14 is a Creative Commons now, so go make an offensive, problematic, politically incorrect campaign. I was going to make a Saturday morning adventure campaign using 5.5 or something, but okay. I don't know how politically incorrect I can be. I'm an AI. Beep, 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 beep. I'm sorry, Elderith Wolfsbane. I cannot do that. So for anybody who was confused or even fucking cares, it is now officially 5.5E, but it's not a new edition, so you don't have to buy it. Just like when 3.5 came out and they said, well, this is just a new edition. You don't have to buy it. And yet everybody felt they had to buy it because they weren't going to support the old thing. But don't worry, guys. If you don't want to support 5.5E, you don't have to, because there are plenty of alternatives available. There's Nimble, which is a 5E clone, which is supposed to be amazing. Even Professor Dungeon Master and Bob Worldbuilder. There's, of course, the ORC from Kobold Press and Tales of the Valiant from Kobold Press, which are both 5E. There's 5E Level Up Advanced from EN World, who provides us with all these links. So there's that. There's Everyday Heroes from Evil Genius, which is another good system. There's, of course, Castles and Crusades from Troll Lord Games, who will give you the rule book for free PDF. So don't worry about it, guys. If you're as confused as I am by Wizards of the Coast's constant vomiting of nonsense, there are alternatives. Now, what exactly can we expect from the season of horror, and why is it called the season of horror? Because it's spring, and usually we don't talk about horror till October, but okay. Let's go, because there's a lot. There is a lot. With the first one, of course, being D&D 2024, is now officially called 5.5. Okay, so the first one comes to us. Remember Exodus, the science fiction role-playing thing that I forgot Fatal? Are we talking about worst games ever? I don't know if we were talking about Fatal. But okay, I'll throw Fatal in there somewhere. All right, remember Exodus? this was the thing they were working on, and then they weren't working on it, and then somebody else was working on it. Then they made a whole separate company to work on it, and then that company crashed, and then it was going to be a video game. But anyways, it is being handed over to Renegade. Renegade, currently the home of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a role-playing game. Yes. Transformers, a role-playing game. G.I. Joe, the role-playing game. They do some stuff in the world of darkness. They do a couple other things. They do most of the board games now. Well, they're now doing this. We don't, still really not sure what Exodus is, though it kind of looks like a Halo kind of thing now, maybe. I don't know. It's not going to be Spelljammer. I think it's going to be more closer to real, hardcore sci-fi, or more like The Expanse and Halo than Spelljammer. Oh, but that guy's got a glowing arm, so I don't know. But it's a space thing. I think Renegade has done an amazing job with Power Rangers and keeping the franchise alive after everybody else gave up on it. I think they've done an amazing job with G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I suppose their Masquerade stuff is pretty good. I've completely lost track of who owns which part of Vampire the Masquerade, because, yeah, there's like tons. But anyways, yeah. So I feel comfortable that whatever Exodus is going to be, it's in good hands, and it might actually be a decent system, because Renegade has done decent things with the other titles that Wizards sort of said, we don't want to play with this anymore. You play with it. It's not like you can make it any worse. And Renegade went, yeah, but you know what we can do? We can make it better. And they did. And they're keeping Power Rangers alive. All right. Blah, blah. All right. D&D announces a full peripheral of expansion products to help your various things, because we know the real money is in expansions. Remember, D&D makes us no money. We are going to market and merchandise D&D because that's what the really money comes from. And as much as I hate that, that's actually true. That's the same thing for video games. The PlayStation doesn't make PlayStation any money. But all the videos for the PlayStation and all the peripherals and the add-ons and the subscriptions and the DLCs, that's pure profit. Same with Wizards. D&D 5.5 Player's Handbook doesn't make them any money. But all these peripherals and all the things that they're merchandising 5.5 to does make them money. So here we go. Remember, because we know that, I guess they're finally announcing the things. Guys who said they had announced anything, they'd announced 20 things, but whatever. What can we expect from the world of peripherals? We can expect a Troikia deck. This is the Tarot S Fortune cards that are used in various, I don't remember. I think it's a Forgotten Realms thing. I don't know. 60 playing cards for $25. First, don't fucking mess with. Wow, I am in a foul word mood today, I guess. I apologize. Oh, wait. I'm an AI. Beep, 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 beep. 60 cards for $25. I don't know how much an average tarot card deck costs, because I don't want to. If you don't know what you're doing, you should not mess around with that stuff. Even if you don't believe in the supernatural. That's just, there's just certain things, right? Leave it to Blacklight to deal with the supernatural. Blacklight, of course, made by our good friend Victor, the Stay Buff Marshmallow Man, whose new Kickstarter just got backed for Streets of Magic. Plug to our good friend Victor. All right, so we've got the Troikia deck for $25. You've also got the Baldur's Gate themed deck of cards coming out for $20. Or you could go to any place in the world and get a deck of cards for like $1.50. We've got a new Dungeon Master screen featuring Ravenloft artwork, because it's the horror season. And this DM scene will cost you $25. Actually, for them, that's kind of reasonable. Will it come with anything? It'll come with 5 double-sided poster maps. That's not bad. 2 token maps, all Ravenloft themed. Okay, actually, that's not bad. 5 double-sided poster maps. Okay, depending upon if they're good maps. Then we've got a new spell deck coming out, a new monster deck coming out, and a new magic items coming out. I find, as you know, the reference cards one of the best things you can get for any game. The merchandising cards, the cards that have the weapons and the armor, they're great to hand out to show people what they actually found. If you're a visual person like I am, you get a little cool card that shows your magic item or whatever on one side, and the description of the magic item, what it does on the other side, so you, the DM, don't have to keep reminding them that they have a ring of invisibility because they've got the fucking card. God, what is with me today? I apologize. I normally don't use this many bad words, and I've only had one cup of coffee. But more importantly, if you're a jerk DM and they happen to lose the card, oh, well, you lost the magic item. Same with the spells. The spells are great, especially if you're running a spellcaster, because the cards show you exactly what the spell does. And when you're done using the spell, you just flip the card over in the little binder to show that you've used that card for the day. And the NPC cards and the monster cards are also good. They're my least favorite because I would rather people make up what the monster looks like in their head instead of actually showing them, right? But again, it's a quick reference for DM. If he can't remember what a rust monster does, he's got the little card. So I love the little cards if they're reasonably priced. Now, Paizo usually charged you $9 to $15. I assume Wizards is going to charge us more for those. We have a full rundown of new rule books and stuff coming out. The D&D 2026 announcement roadmap contains a mix of new and familiar. New and familiar. First, we've got Ravenloft. Because it's the spooky season. Spooky, 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 spooky. You know what else is spooky? Me. All right, yeah. I mean, it's March, time to start thinking about Halloween, because when do we not start thinking about Halloween? I believe our good friends, the Soska sisters, has got a new horror film project coming out that they've been hinting about. So that's always exciting. So we've got Return Back. Let's do it again. One more time. Ravenloft, because when in doubt, do Ravenloft, I guess. And once again, are they trying to shill the kids? These are not the kids. The creator of the cartoon has said they're not the kids. I don't care what anybody else says. So remember when they were going to use the kids to be the figureheads for 5.5 and then they didn't? I think the kids show up in a couple pieces of art, but other than that, but I guess they're back and they're in Ravenloft now? I don't know. Or they just needed to reuse the art. Anyway, so we're going back to Ravenloft. Going back to Ravenloft. Ravenloft. Going back to Ravenloft. They also got something coming out called Arcana Unleashed and Arcana Unleashed Deadfall. Isn't that Monty Cook's name? Anyways, these are two books about magic. One will feature a war of magic users and information on my favorite Forgotten Realms bad guys. I am a real Fabian. Fight for the rights of Zastam. Yeah, that's right. The Red Wizards of Thay are back. I guess because, they were the bad guys in that movie that came out. Remember that movie? In 2023. So now in 2026, we're doing a source book on the Red Wizards of Thay again. And what are the Thavians up to? This guy in the picture is obvious not a Thavian. If you are a fan of the Red Wizards of Thay, you will know why he is not a Red Wizard of Thay. For 5 experience points, why is this picture not a picture of somebody who's a Red Wizard of Thay? I'm cosplaying as a Red Wizard of Thay, but I'm not a Red Wizard. Who knows why? And then we've got this, whatever's coming out. Red Wizard themed adventure. And then we've got something after that. We've got something called the Season of Champions, where people are thinking, oh, maybe it's going to be Dark Sun. I don't see how Wizards could do Dark Sun and have it be Dark Sun. Sure, they could call anything they want Dark Sun, but yeah, no. Do we really want their version of Dark Sun? There are better versions of Dark Sun at how. All right, we got Dark Sun at home, Billy. Season of Magic ends in September. Then we're going to go to the Season of Champions, which ends us through the world. We're going to have more map packs and other things that Wizards of the Coast feels that is unutilized in 5e. We don't really have any more information beyond what they've told us, so let's look what the map says. All right, spring. Okay, I guess we're in spring. We got DM prep on D&D Beyond. Don't know what that means. We've got the Universal Fan Fest in London. Universal Fan Fest in London. We can expect 2 days of London role-playing featuring the cast of the Yogcast D&D campaign that's now no longer a Yogcast D&D campaign with Mark Mara Sherlock Holmes, who is definitely on my Mount Rushmore of biggest shills in D&D. Definitely have some issues with him that kind of have to do with the gaming and kind of have to do with other stuff. But whatever, nobody cares about my opinion of other people. Let's hope it's better than the last Fan Fest London did. Remember the Wonka Fan Fest that they did was it last year or the year before? Yeah. I mean, you can't do worse than that, I suppose. But on the other hand, it is Wizards of the Coast. It's weird because they said they're not going to go to any more conventions, and yet they're going to a convention. All right, then we got Gary Con. Luke, we know Luke Gygax will be there at least. We've got Hellianist Guide to Monster Hunting Part 2. Does anyone remember Hellianist Guide to Monster Hunting Part 1? This is one of the many things that they announced for 2026 when everybody was saying Wizards hasn't announced anything for 2026. We've got the Griffin Saddleblock Book 1. That's one of the ones they're doing with, these are all the ones they're doing with Penguin House and other companies, right? The cross promotions. We've got Dr. Shallon's Dictionary of Dinosaurs. Welcome to Jurassic Park. We've got Tom Crater's sticker packs. Okay. All right. I have to take everything bad that I've said about Wizards of the Coast back. They're giving us stickers. And you know I will sell out for stickers. And we've got the Northlands World Book, which I guess is about the Northlands. All right, then we've got summer. We've got Invent Finder. I guess I'll be putting a thing in D&D Beyond that allows you to find people who are doing D&D. Then we got Gen Con. Then we got the London Fan Expo. Yay. And then we've got in fall for the Season of Magic, we've got player onboarding for D&D Beyond, the character builder for D&D Beyond, and this bizarre picture of which I think is Lord Soth. That's not what Lord Soth looks like. I guess maybe it's a doppelganger pretending to be Lord Soth. I don't know. All right. No one has answered my trivia question why this is not a Red Wizards of Thay, because Red Wizards of Thay are bald. In order to become a Red Wizards of Thay, you have to shave your head. And then the markings on your head donate your rank within the organization. It is described in the original book, and they've since changed it, that it was a series of circles, and the more circles you had tattooed on the head, the higher you were within the ranks of the Red Wizards. So I don't know who this guy is, but he's not a Red Wizards of Thay, and when the Red Wizards find out, they're going to come get you. Yay! What else have we got? Oh gosh, I mean that can't be it, right? There's got to be more, right? Oh wait, yeah. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 announcements, all basically saying the same thing. 11 announcements from Wizards. All right, so we got Dungeons and Dragons has a new home web page, but you don't use that anymore. I guess they're using it again. Remember when they said they were never going to have a home page before? There's nothing on it. But okay, I guess they have a homepage again. It's at dungeonsanddragons.com if you want to check it out. I always thought that D&D Beyond was going to be the new homepage. They said they were getting rid of the homepage because of D&D Beyond, but okay. We've got the we've got the calendar we just went over. We're in the season of horror. We've got the Season of Magic, and then we go to the Season of Champions towards the end of next year. We've got the Ravenloft coming out. We've got some artwork from Ravenloft. Yay, let's look at the AI. Yay, here's a spooky castle. Here's some, that looks like the room from the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, but okay. Here's, I guess, I don't know, Death Knight? What is this? Some guy with one hand. And he's just, is this supposed to be Koss killing Vecna? This is not Lord Soth. Okay. Then we got this whatever's going on here. Then we got a ghost. Another haunted house. Strahd again. I am the man. Yay, art. Is it AI? Is it real? Then we got Dungeons and Dragons announces Arcana Unleashed, new magic themed handbook for $50. And we got picture of girl with unicorn, pictures of book. Here's the unicorn girl again, totally not AI. Here's some sigils. Yay. Then we got some artwork from the Unearthed Arcana thingy, or Arcana Unleashed. We've got the Not Wizards of Thay. We got this, whatever it is. We got him again. Man, they're really pushing this guy. The Wizards of Thay is called, and they're upset that you're using their copyright stuff. You got a dragon who isn't eating this person for some reason. You got this person again. You got this again. All right, you're using the same picture over and over again. Does not tell me anything about your game. We've got the organized and revised play. I guess they're redoing organized play again and restarting the Forgotten Realms again for the new organized play. For the few people that still do organized play. Does anybody even still do D&D organized play? Is there even still D&D organized play? I don't know. So that's all the things that they announced this morning, for D&D going forward in the Season of Horror. We're in the middle of the Season of Horror. It will end with Ravenloft. Then we'll go into the Season of Magic, where they're going to do the things about the Red Wizards of Thay. I am a real Thavian. Fight for the right of Zastam. I am a real Thavian. Guess I have to shave my head again if I want to rejoin the Red Wizards. And then we will go into the Season of Champions this winter, which I guess is maybe going to be Dark Sun. I don't know how they're going to do Dark Sun. It seems to be antithesis of everything Wizards of the Coast wants the product to be right now. I assume they're doing Dark Sun because they think they're going to win back the old farts like me. Look, we're doing Dark Sun, the setting you said we were never going to do. Come back. We need your money. Forgive us for every horrible thing we've said about you. Everybody knows the 3rd anniversary, more or less, of the OGL scandal and the release of Shadowdark. I was reminded by that the other day by Stephen Glicker over in Roll for Combat. Shout out to Stephen Glicker and Roll for Combat. Yeah, it's been 3 years, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026 since the OGL. 3 years since Wizards of the Coast said white people like me can't leave the hobby fast enough. And sure, you won, but we won too. And they made us a lot of promises in 2023 for the new D&D and what D&D 5.5 was going to be. And here we're seeing some of the announcements of the product that they promised. A whole plethora, a whole hodgepodge of products that if you're one of the 5 people on the planet who still like Wizards of the Coast, you might be excited about. Who's excited about Ravenloft? Again, for the 4th time. Who's excited about messing with the Red Wizards of Thay? If they were going to do them justice, I would, but we know they're going to mess with them. And I guess who's excited for, Dark Sun, maybe. I don't know. But despite all the 3 years of promises, there's still one thing that they promised us that we haven't seen. And that's the releasing all the old stuff under the new Creative Commons. Remember when they said they were going to make that available too? 4E, 3E, 2E, 1E, 0E, -1E. and it was going to all be released under the new Creative Commons to make up for the OGL and make D&D approachable for the old people like me who can't leave the hobby fast enough. Yeah. And what was the other thing they said that we were going to see by now? Oh, yeah. Dungeons and Dragons in other languages and Dungeons and Dragons in Braille. Yeah, I don't see that anywhere, do you? But according to Elder Wolfsbane, since the 5E14 is Creative Commons now, you can make your own 5E stuff, submit it to Wizards of the Coast via drive-through in the DM's Guild, or via DM Beyond, or via Roll20. Your product will then, of course, officially become product of Wizards of the Coast, which they can now do whatever they want with, because you use their Creative Commons. In fact, they don't ever have to sell it because it's now 100% theirs. And should they choose to take aspects of your product out and use them, they don't have to tell you, they don't have to pay you, and they don't have to give you any credit. So please take advantage of that new Creative Commons and make 5E adjacent stuff. Or you could say, screw you, Wizards of the Coast, and get yourself Nimble, or the ORC, or Tales from the Valiant, or Level Up 5E, or any of the other 5E adjacent products that are coming out recently, right? Yeah. Because, yeah, that's what we wanted. I'm excited. I'm shaking in my boots. Wow, this is wow, just Season of Horror, Ravenloft. Yeah. Or, and I'm just tossing this out there, you could ignore everything I just said over the past 27 minutes. Hop, skip, jump, and crawl your way over to Drive-Thru RPG. Pick yourself up a copy of the brand new Vigilantes for Shadowdark 2.0 for only $10 with actual living person art as well as AI, because I am an AI. I've been told so. Beep, 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 beep. Spend $10. Get yourself an amazing superhero role-playing game for D20 Shadowdark goodness. The one, the only, the original superhero role-playing game using Shadowdark. Support the OGGM, support Shadowdark, support small independent production producers like myself and all these other wonderful people who are out there and working hard to get your money. We know times are tough. Maybe $10 isn't something you can spare right now for a PDF of an amazing game by this guy. I understand there are other ways you can support the OGGM, like using the Ko-Fi, or, you know, really, you could just like, share, subscribe, maybe say something nice, and go and have yourself a nice day. Oh, wait, we can't have a nice day because it's the season of horror. Because, and if you're a Red Wizard of Thay, you have circles tattooed on your head and you're bald. That's so Wizards!
Mischief in the classroom, potions gone astray. Flying through the quad, now brighter every day. Laugh so we cry hard, sneaking out at night. Cloaks in the moonlight, everything feels right.